Hi, it's Donna Robertson,
and Fran Morgan.
and we're here to talk about one segment of our anniversary sale. We're going to be talking about Fat Quarter Stash Builders, and this is a wonderful opportunity to get some high quality fabrics at a super low price.
And that is so exciting. And what's even better is we have a great opportunity. The stash builders can all be used on the patterns in my brand new book, Fat Quarter Quilting Fun. We have 7 patterns here in the book. And just to point out, all of the quilts in the book are lap size, approximately 45 by 60 inches, depending on the quilt. And of course, we do give those instructions to increase to a twin or a king queen as well. But the stash builders, you can get these for this special sale price today of just $12.99 for 6 fat quarters, and you can use these to build the quilts and make the quilts. I'm so excited about this because this is such an economical time to build that stash.
And do they have to use a specific bundle for these quilts?
The patterns are written for the quilts for light, medium, dark, and a focus. So we will tell you and step out in the patterns how many lights, how many darks, so on and so forth.
And so these are all done that way here. So we actually have these divided up. So the stash builders are in those categories.
Right. Right. It makes it super easy. Now let's look at some of the quilts, and then I will even point out some of the light, mediums, and darks in the quilts so that you can kind of see how we've placed them.
I'll let you point them out since these are all Fran's quilts and they're gorgeous.
So this is woven. And in this quilt, we are actually using what I called a focus fat quarter. And those fat quarters are in these big blocks here. And we do have a stash builder bundle, especially for focus fabrics. And then we have the mediums and lights here. This is a great, great quilt. It uses 12 assorted fat quarters. None of them are matching, so it can be a great scrappy look. Now, this is the example from the book. But you guys get a special treat today. I'm going to show you the very original quilt top that I made so that you can see how scrappy they can be. Hannah, would you help with that? All right, she's going to grab that. And this is kind of like whenever I first started, I did like a planning quilt top kind of to see how this would work out. And as you can see, this is just gorgeous scraps from my stash. Mm-hmm. It worked perfectly well, and I think this top is just gorgeous as well. And like we said, you can definitely use the stash builders and mix them up and get them in the quilt here.
Well, you know, one of the things that I've noticed about using the fat quarters is sometimes we can overplan. We can just work and work and work.
Yes.
And with these new patterns, it's so cool because all you have to do is the light, medium, and dark. You don't have to overwork it, overplan it. In fact, it's a great way to do some experimenting so that you can start learning new ways to put things together.
I love that.
I like that.
So let's look at the next quilt. Thanks, Hannah, so much. And this is going to be our meander quilt. So this one here, it's very cool. We have our darks in this longer piece here, our light here, and then our mediums in the shorter. And I think it just turned out gorgeous. Now we have a medium here and then a dark. Now let me just mention too, some of the quilts do use 2 matching fat quarters. In our sale bundles, we don't always have a matcher, but absolutely you can put a half yard of fabric from your stash to build that as well. Now do we have my original one too to show.
I love this. This is so cool to see. Because I like the scrappiness of these. This is awesome.
Yeah, isn't that just, it turned out great. And what I did is just chose to use a light that was really contrasting. So you can see still scrappy fabrics, just pull from your stash and it comes out gorgeous.
It does. I love it.
Just grouped light, medium, and dark, just like our sale fabric bundles are. All right, what do we have next?
We have some sweet treats.
Oh, yay! Now, sweet treats is fun. This is actually a half square triangle with a little bit of a twist on it, and it kind of makes it look like one of those little sweet chocolate treats that we eat. You guys know what I'm talking about. And of course, we have our mediums or darks here, and then our lights in the background. Now, these are all done with batiks, but the original quilt that I did actually was using some other scrap fat quarters that I had in my stash. So this is kind of interesting. Look how fun this turned out. Little bit different, but absolutely still fun. So these do not necessarily have to be made with batiks. They can also be made with any of the scraps that you have in your stash, those fat quarters.
Now, is this a good example of one fat quarter made this much, and then two made this?
That's correct.
That is really
Yes.
cool.
Very,
so
very
you can
fun.
see you can make a skinny border with one, and so you can make a wide border with two fat quarters. So if you wanted to add a third border, that would be pretty simple to do.
Absolutely. So you could actually get an extra stash builder kit there and just put that on.
That's great. I like that.
Perfect. Perfect. We've got Hannah running today, I think.
She does not have to go to the gym tonight.
Thank you, Hannah. You're so sweet. Now, this is our Boho Triangles. Now, this one's actually great. I love this because the triangles and the fabrics can just all go together, and really, they're just grouped light, medium, and dark. And the only thing that distinguishes the fabric is that you've got a light with a medium or a medium with a dark.
And I think it's really cool because this was just one fat quarter, but look how often that pink will show up in there so that it gets that continuity going. I like that.
Very good point. Thank you so much. Now, can we look at the original on that one too? And I say original. All of the finished ones are the ones that are in the book and featured in the book. The original ones are the ones that I originally made as I was designing. So that's the reason why. And these are all made with my stash. So I wanted you to be able to see them so that you could see how you can utilize these great sale bundles that we've got for you. So I've just pulled them. Looks fabulous.
Absolutely.
Just keep going.
It's great.
What do you think?
Well, let's show them some fat quarters,
Let's do.
stash builders.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
This is awesome.
So this is kind of some examples of what we've got here. These are our focus bundles. The bundles have 6 fat quarters, and they are $12.99 for 6. And as I mentioned on that first quilt that we looked at, we have a focus category. So these will be the fun, larger prints.
And they won't be the same. They're all different because we just have quite an assortment of fat quarters.
Okay. And then, of course, we have our lights. And once again, these will be assorted. And we have categorized them just like the patterns in the book. So if you find that you need a light or a medium, it really helps out whenever you're placing your order. Or you can get some of each, and that way you can make any of the quilts at all. And then we have our medium.
And here's an example where we've got 2 matchers.
Oh, perfect.
So if you need 2 matchers for your border.
Okay, perfect. And then we also have our great dark selections as well. And of course, these are top quality fabrics, all ready to go.
It is really cool. And so just for the fun of it, let's say you needed a dark and a light and you put it together, then you can look at this and see how cool that goes together. So if you're needing a light and a dark for contrast, you've got it when you buy these mini bundles. Isn't that cool?
That is great.
Well, I love it, and I think you're going to love our fat quarters. If you love our 3-yard quilt kits that we do all the time, these are simply the ends of the bolts that have been cut into fat quarters. So you'll get some great deals on this.
Perfect.
All right. Well,
Love the
keep
deal.
watching. We've got more sale things coming up.